Good child, come a little closer to Mochi. Lie down gently, hold your soft blanket close, and let your body loosen like a light cotton pillow. Mochi is here, and Mochi will tell you a gentle story. But first, take a deep breath in and breathe out very slowly. One more time. Breathe in deeply and breathe out very slowly. Now you're ready. Mochi will guide you into a story as soft as drifting clouds. Once upon a time, in a small forest covered in tender sunlight, there was a gentle stream flowing through. The water was so clear you could see every tiny pebble resting at the bottom. Its surface shimmered like little stars gazing at their own reflections. Near the stream lived a tiny ant. She was always diligent, but never hurried. She walked slowly, softly, as if the grass beneath her feet was singing her a lullaby. That day, the sky was blue like a great blanket, and the wind passing through the leaves was just strong enough to brush the ant's tiny antenna. On a branch a little higher, there sat a dove, white as snow. He liked to sit still, watching the clouds drift slowly across the sky. Each time a breeze swept by, his soft wings trembled gently, light as silk. Mochi says, in that forest, everything moved with an unhurried, peaceful rhythm. No one rushed, no one was loud. Every creature understood that tranquility was the forest's greatest gift. One morning, when the sunlight was still lazily hiding behind the leaves, the little ant was toddling along her familiar stream bank. But that day, the earth was a bit damp, a bit soft, and her tiny feet slipped at the water's edge. She fell into the stream with a sound so small, even the wind could barely notice. The water drifted gently, yet to the ant, it was a vast, wide river. She spun lightly, slowly floating with the current. There was no fear, only surprise and a wish to find something to hold on to. From the high branch, the dove, dreamily watching the clouds, noticed the tiny ant being carried away. He tilted his head, his eyes tender and full of care. Without any rush, he reached down and picked up a fresh green leaf, soft as velvet. He spread his wings, flew down very gently, and released the leaf beside the ant. It landed on the water so softly it barely made a sound. It floated beside her like a tiny boat inviting her aboard. The little ant stretched out her feet, touched the leaf, and slowly climbed onto it. The leaf trembled lightly, as if welcoming her. The stream continued carrying the leaf toward the shore, bit by bit, soft as breath. When it reached the bank, the ant stepped down, brushed off the sparkling droplets clinging to her back. She looked up at the tall branch and saw the dove watching her with gentle eyes. The ant moved her tiny antenna as a quiet thank you. Mochi smiles when telling this part, because it is the moment when kindness touches kindness, so softly, yet glows like a little star inside every creature's heart. From that day on, the little ant carried gratitude within her. Whenever she passed the branch where the dove perched, she looked up and smiled in the small, quiet way of ants. Time moved slowly in the forest. The sun shifted bit by bit. The wind left and returned. One afternoon, the sunlight colored the leaves with a warm honey shade, and the little ant was wandering when she saw a hunter approaching the woods. He wasn't in a hurry. He was simply looking for a place to rest. He looked up and saw a beautiful white bird perched above. He lifted his stick, not to harm it, just as if wanting a clearer look. But from the ground below, the little ant looked up and immediately recognized that the bird was the dove who had once saved her. Her tiny heart filled with gentle worry. She wanted to help him, even though her body was only the size of a grain of rice. The ant moved toward the hunter's foot. Not to hurt him, just a very light touch, a tiny nudge, but enough for him to step back and lose his balance just a little. He looked down to see what had brushed against him. In that moment, his stick shifted direction. A soft breeze swept by, and the dove used that moment to glide away to another branch, farther, safer. No one was sad. No one was angry. Everything unfolded like a small dance of nature. The hunter simply smiled, sat down in the shade, and enjoyed the forest's stillness. Mochi tilts her head and tells you, sometimes kindness returns not in grand gestures, but in tiny moments, just perfectly timed. The little ant looked toward the dove and saw him landing on a lower branch. He tilted his head toward her, and the ant understood that he knew what had happened. The two little friends didn't need any words. Warmth flowed through the wind, through their eyes, through each breath. From that day on, the dove and the ant often sent small greetings through the breeze. When the ant passed the stream, the dove would gently spread his wings. When the dove returned to his branch, the ant softly bent her tiny legs. Their friendship was light as moonlight, not dazzling, but endlessly warm. One night, when the sky was filled with soft stars, the dove landed near the little ant. He folded his wings, resting beside the tree's roots. The ant curled herself onto her familiar leaf, as if lying on a tiny, natural bed. The night breeze hugged them like a long embrace. The stream whispered like a lullaby. The starry sky glimmered like high-hanging night lamps. The two little friends drifted into sleep, slowly, softly, like flowers closing their petals. Mochi sat there, watching their story, and spoke to you in a cloud-soft voice. My dear child, in life, every small act of kindness you sow, even the tiniest, is like a green leaf floating on water. One day, that goodness will return to you, gently, timely, and beautiful like tonight's moonlight. When you help others, you are planting good seeds in your own heart, and those seeds will grow, becoming a gentle strength that helps you grow each day. Now the story has dissolved into the soft night. You too can let your body become light, like the dove folding his wings to sleep, like the little ant resting on her soft leaf. Breathe in deeply, and breathe out slowly. Mochi gently lays a soft hand on your dream and says, you are now ready to drift into sleep. Let the fairy tale-like dreams come to you. In those dreams, there is a cool stream, a green leaf, a gentle dove, and a kind little ant smiling at you. Sleep now, my dear. Everything around you is safe and warm. Sleep is coming very softly, very close. Wish you a peaceful sleep, a truly peaceful sleep.